Hello, what is up? It is another Tuesday, March 16th, 2021, and we are back. You know, we're live, and I've got a special guest, someone you might know, goes by the name of Mr. Doc Love. Doc, are you there? Can you hear us?
I'm here. How you doing?
What's up, Doc? You look great.
Thank you.
How do you feel? You feel good?
Yeah, I feel good. The wreck was a little over 7 months ago, so the only thing lasting is I have an issue with my hand, this area right here. Other than that, I'm just old, fat, and gray.
So I have two questions. Since your right hand is injured, how does that affect your alone time at home?
I'm ambidextrous.
Okay. All right. So you heard it here first, folks. Doc is ambidextrous, whatever that means. So he goes left and right. That's awesome. You also have a first aid kit behind your head, which I believe is pretty important
Yes.
in case you pass out from some kind of delayed onset from your wreck. I think that's why, maybe. So that's good. You're being safe. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here in my office at Southwest Diesel Service here in Oklahoma City, and, safety's always first.
Doc, I feel like your clock that's behind your head hasn't been set in at least 6 hours. What's going on with it back there?
Yeah, the
right?
battery's been dead for quite a while, so
Okay. Okay. Well, I was just checking. All right. Now that the
We
important
have-
stuff's out of the way, we've
Yeah.
already covered so much in the first 3 minutes of this episode. Like, I don't know if we can cover anything else. Like, we've already talked about Doc's
yeah,
clock.
I feel like yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
I feel like there's nothing left. I feel like we're best friends now.
Okay. Well, good. Well, good, man. Hey, Doc, it's glad to have you, man. On a serious note, I'm glad that you're able to sit here and join me today. Based on the video footage I saw from your wreck several months ago, man, that was a terrible wreck. Your car did its job, and you're here now to talk to me. So,
Yeah, for sure. I might add, Boosted, a very happy birthday to you, buddy. Um, I am
oh,
I am foregoing my Tuesday night poker league, which I'm doing very well in. I won last week, so I had a good chance of winning this month. Not now, obviously, because I'm foregoing poker for my buddy Boosted and race car shit.
man, Doc, you know what? Myself and the thousands of people that are watching live right now, thank you for making that sacrifice for this show. It really just drives home the point that you are all about racing and you are all about this sport. So you know what, Doc? I appreciate it. I know you're the MVP in poker, and you know what? You gave those other guys a chance tonight to win some money, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. One thing that me and Chief has always agreed on since day one, I'm street as they come, man. I'm down to street whenever, wherever, it doesn't matter. And we'll just take that over, into the racing world of podcasts and shit too. So yeah, here we are. Let's get this show started. Let's talk about the important stuff. We covered my clock. We covered my ambidextrous. We've covered my badass shirt I'm wearing. So
we didn't cover that.
Let's get on to some important shit.
We didn't cover your shirt. Let's see it. Let's see your shirt. We didn't cover that.
We didn't. It says, there you go.
Oh, too low.
Fear the beach. I'm showing you my shirt.
Oh, okay. It started going a little too low. I didn't have my zoom on my camera, so I couldn't tell.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I don't have a zoom on my little camera thing either. So yeah, this is my new latest and greatest Fear the Beast shirt. Obviously before the crash. On the back, ironically, it says fucking send it in the American flag. I feel like I pretty much did that last week. I sent all of it. Sent it maybe a bit too far, but we fucking sent it, baby.
Hey, man, Doc, it's like you almost, first of all, real quick, before we go any further, where can people get that shirt that you're wearing?
If you hit my Street Beast page, which I have back now, I got it back from the people that stole it. There's a little tab at the top that says shop now. You can hit that. If you don't want to go on the Book of Face and hit that tab, you can go to my website, which is www.streetbeast.com and do all your merch orders right there. There's a place where you can request me sign it. If you don't want my ugly ass signature, you can just get a cool ass shirt and yeah. Oh, we can also get my die cast cars. Give me a second.
Props. I like it.
I happen to have one right here.
Look at that. Hold it up higher. There you go.
The official Street Beast die cast car. Even
Nice.
signed.
Look at that.
So
I need one of those, Doc.
Yeah. All proceeds go to rebuilding the Street Beast, or let's go back. All proceeds go to getting the replacement street ready, and then after that's all said and done, then all proceeds from there go to finishing the new car and resurrecting the Street Beast from the black trailer set out on the fence.
So I kind of wanted to cover Mega Cash Days first, but we're already talking about the Street Beast and your car and the wreck. So let's just
we can talk about whatever, Chris. Whatever, it's your show. Whatever you want to talk about, let's talk about it.
Yeah. What I was saying was, let's just talk about the OG 405 show first, which will cover the wreck and all that. So first question I have for you is, tell me what you think about how the show, the OG 405 show, has changed. The list is different now. What do you think about all that? What do you think about the changes?
Can I be honest on there, or are we going to get in trouble?
No, you can be honest. Of course you can.
I don't want this episode to get shut down because somebody said it needs to be shut down.
Well,
so
hang on. You can't. I don't want you to tell me what happens on future episodes. That'll be a number one.
No. I wasn't
kicked off. But if you're not happy with something,
I was going behind it.
You can tell me if you're not happy about something. Obviously, I don't want you talking trash on the producers or anything like that. But this is all about your opinion and how you feel. So let's hear how you feel about it.
It's no secret. It's pretty obvious that the last few seasons, the show's gotten stale. We're racing in the same place. We're racing the same people. We're not doing any out of town races. So in the essence of getting rid of the list and going to Nebraska and film, it was needed. I can take that one step further and say that the reasons that our show has gotten stale that I just expressed are not 100% our fault. We have been handicapped. We've been begging for out-of-town races and been told no. We've been begging to go places to race and been told no. And the other show seems like they're all over the country. So not exactly sure what's going on right there, but it's like going into a boxing match against Mike Tyson with one arm tied behind your back.
Okay. Yeah. So, I can, I took part in the list race nights as well. And yeah, I agree. Some of the energy was lost compared to earlier seasons, right? And that's kind of expected if we're going to keep doing the same stuff, right? You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expect it to generate new energy. So, I get that side of what you're saying. And I know it was difficult to get out of town races, at least for us, from what I remember, getting the roads, getting everybody on the same page and all that stuff. So I don't think it was.
Well, Booster,
Go ahead.
let me ask you a question. How come it's easier for one show than it is the other?
Yeah, Doc. I don't know, man. I can't really answer that. I just
I
I
know
don't
you
want to sit here and
can.
say,
I was making a
yeah,
little bit of
no,
a statement, defending the sanctity of our show. That's all I was doing.
right. No, I got you, man. Well, okay. With that being said, you admit yourself that there needed to be a change. So how do you feel
One
about the
hundred
change?
percent. The To be honest with you, moving to Nebraska and making us race for our lives, basically, disbounding the list and dangling the carrot of the new show, America's List, out in front of us, and basically saying, if you want it, you have to earn it through racing. It lit a fire under all of us that I haven't felt in quite a while. So in that aspect, it was 100% needed and accurate and done exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, on that side of things, I can definitely tell because, with the original list, when you would lose a race and move down the list, it was just like, shit, I'm that one spot further away from number one, right? Whereas with this new style list where you are basically racing for your life, if you're not in the top five, then you're on the outs, right? And there is nowhere else to fall. It definitely raises the stakes and, definitely builds the energy back up. So I can definitely see that there. But so
Right.
what did you think about
What?
Nebraska? I mean, and as a whole, what did you think about Scottsdale?
Love the town, love the people. The smell, not so much. The road, definitely not so much. So let's give it. If I have to be honest and take all things into consideration, I'm going to give it about an 8 on my scale of 1 to 10.
Wow. So you gave Scottsbluff, Nebraska, an 8 out of 10. Huh. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Like I said,
yeah, everybody in Scottsbluff was extremely nice. You're right. It did smell kind of funny, but I mean, it wasn't a bad town. There was no gyms really that were open, but that's okay. And the mall was a little small, but
well,
other
I'm a
than
fat.
that, yeah, that didn't bother you none. But I guess
Yeah,
it was a
I'm a
nice little
fat
town.
guy. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
fat guy, so gyms aren't important.
that's right. That's right.
So
So,
that's
all
yeah.
right. So, Doc, tell me about the testing you did after Mega Cash Days and before the OG 405 list race.
Yeah, I wish that we had producers and cameras following us around. I literally rebuilt the front end of my car 5 times in 9 days. Um, Obviously, we filmed the first 2 episodes were filmed not a week apart, but basically 2 days apart. So I literally had to deconstruct the No Prep King Street Beast and back into the Street Beast. And I had my front end apart, really 7 times in about 9 days, trying to get the front end travel that I needed. I had got rid of my Sandtuff shocks, but to put on my Penske's, which is a big sponsor of mine, and the Penske's were badass for No Prep Kings. We just missed on the valving for the street, especially a street as bad as what we were on in Scottsbluff. So we were trying things. I had to reach back. I had to go back in my memory, literally 8, 9, 10 years on what I used to do to make the Street Beast work, no matter where we was at, Oklahoma City, DFW, whatever kind of road. So I really had to dig deep down in the treasure chest of street memories that I've had with this car for literally, 10, 12, 15 years.
Right. So, okay. So you had to do some testing, right? And I know how the schedule is. You know, I know how it goes. You're really pressed for time, especially when you're in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, and they're trying to film a whole bunch of episodes and get in and get out in a short period of time. So let's go ahead and fast forward to when you raced Chief, and let's pull up the first picture from your car launching against Chief, and then we'll talk some more.
Okay.
Look at that. Man, it looks like you got it figured out there, right?
Little did I know, a fraction of a second later.
Yeah. So right here in that picture, so did you have wheelie bars on your car or did you take them off?
To be honest with you, I think they were on. Yeah, they were on the car because they're all busted up. So they were raised up as high as they could go. I remember an old guy saying that he didn't like to use wheelie bars no matter what size the tire was. Wheelie bars were there just to keep the car from completely going over. So we were trying to let the suspension do the work. And maybe I got a little bit carried away. Maybe those wheelie bars should have been down, let's say an inch, maybe two from where they were at.
Right. Yeah. No, man, I get it. It looked like it left pretty good there, but you're right. The front end's a little high. And so right after that picture was taken, explain to the people listening what happened.
Okay, so first of all, I need to explain that I was knocked out pretty early in the crash. Like I have a vague memory of the car tilting to the left. Besides that memory, the only prior memory I have is Ryan banging the light. I don't remember releasing the trans brake. I have that vague memory of the weightlessness and leaning to the left. And then I'm kind of coming to in the ambulance, talking to my brother and the nurse that was there in the ambulance. That's it. I don't have any memory or recollection of the past, the wreck, anything.
Damn. All right, so let's go ahead and play the video real quick, and then we'll talk about it, if that's okay, Doc.
Yeah, I watched it first last night, just like the rest of the world did, and I learned a little bit that I didn't know. I've only seen the wreck from the big end camera from production. I've never seen it in somebody else's cell phone from the starting line, so I've never seen it at different sections of the run. So I'm kind of piecing together. I haven't even pulled the data from that pass, so I'm piecing together what I think happened. And the biggest thing is, in a competitive moment, in the pressure cooker situation that we were in, I just fucked up. I fucked up. I'm assuming I knew Chief was going to get the win, so I'm just assuming that I was trying to get data. The reason why I stayed in it or the reason why I stabbed it, obviously I don't remember, so I can't really tell you the exact honest answer. But one thing's for sure, no excuses. I overdrove it and I fucked up.
Yeah, man. I mean, it takes a lot to come on here in front of all these people and admit that that you just had a driver's error on this deal. A lot of people will get on here and blame everything under the sun. A tire went flat or the suspension broke or something like that. So for you to come on here and then just man up to it, I mean, that says a lot about it, Doc. And it takes a lot to admit when you mess up. Well, it really does.
I'll be honest. And since I had the front end apart, 7 times in 9 days or whatever, 5 times in 9 days, I thought maybe I had messed up and left something loose on the front end. Obviously, the front end was completely demolished, destroyed from the crash. So I can't put my finger on a smoking gun. But after watching last night's episode, I'm pretty freaking sure that I just fucked up. I don't think it was a mechanical failure. I don't think it was anybody's or anything's fault but mine.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and play the video, and then we'll talk some more.
Who is it?
Damn. Yeah, man. That was
That's still tough to
I'm gonna
watch.
tell the people right now, the ditch that's on the side of that road is deep. In case anyone's wondering. It's when you go off the shoulder of that road, it is probably like 5 or 6 feet down and then just straight back up. I mean, it's a big ditch, and
Yep.
you went right into it, dude. Ah.
I went right into it, and in that little section where those trees are, I'm told that I knocked over probably 5 cedar trees that were roughly 5 inches around at the ground, and I just completely mowed them over. So there's some carnage and some shit that none of the cameras caught. You just the guys could see it as they're running up to the damage or the wreckage, while I'm still completely passed out in the driver's seat in my belts.
Right. So they actually had to pull you out of the car. You didn't walk out of the car. They pulled you out.
No, from what I understand, um, my brother was the second person there from the starting line. He made it all the way down, and he jumped on top of the engine, was laying across the engine, hot ass engine, across the dash. My windshield's gone, in my face, trying to wake me up. Rich, the safety guy, was in the passenger door, I believe, trying to hold my head up. Passenger door or driver door, I'm not sure. And I'm just slumped over for a long time. Bobby, my brother, said it was a really, really long time. I'm going to go off and guess that it literally took me 6 hours to kind of get my wits to know where I was at, what I would consider some semblance of normalcy in my head. I've never had a concussion that bad. I've never had a short-term memory loss. But yeah, in my mind, the hospital, it feels like I was there for 45 minutes, and my brother said no, it was more like about 5 hours.
Damn, man. Well, let's see some pictures of let's see some pictures of the aftermath from that wreck, man.
There's the ditch and the trees.
Yep. God.
Breaks my heart, man.
Jesus, Doc, that looks like some of the cars that were pulled out of. Remember that demolition derby we did a long time ago, probably 2 years ago. That's what it looks like. Jesus.
Yep. A lot of people don't know either. I don't have anywhere. I don't have a shop. I mean, my diesel shop is my shop. I have a 4-post lift in one corner of my diesel shop. That's where I do all the work. That's where I do all the maintenance. That's the only place I could put that car. So that car sat there on my lift literally all winter, and up until last week, when I took it off the lift and stuck it out on the fence last Thursday. Matter of fact, it was Thursday. So really, up until last Thursday, I had to walk by that car every day, Monday through Friday, since I got back from Scottsbluff.
Yeah, but that was extremely difficult, man. I hate to see it.
I needed to strip it, obviously, so, get the good parts. I needed to get the good parts off of it, but emotionally, that car's been in my life almost as long as my kids. So I would literally work on the car for an hour or two max, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'd have to just walk away. So there were several months I didn't touch the car, just walk by and look at it. It's been tough. It's been a really, really tough. That car was me. That car is the reason I'm sitting here talking to you on a podcast. That car and me started street racing together. I started my street racing career in that car. I started my performance path in that car. That car is an extension of me, and I'm an extension of it. That car has saved my life on multiple occasions before this incident, and I feel like she sacrificed her life so that I could walk away and talk to everybody about it today and tomorrow and from now on.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm glad that you're still here with us, because that was a violent wreck, man. It's just, and you're right. That car has so much history. You and I have raced several times. I can remember the first time we raced. I believe it was in Elk City, and you actually beat me. I'm pretty sure you beat me long time ago. Do you remember that?
I do, Boosted. A lot of people don't know, and people that's tuned into this this podcast are going to get privy to this information. My very first actual, real, legitimate street race with nitrous was against you in Elk City so many years ago.
Yeah, man. And that was in the middle of town. It was in the middle of town. I still remember it. The road kind of went uphill a little bit, but yeah, man, that was when the street beast was like, dude, that thing probably weighed like 5,000 pounds.
Had a back seat.
It did. But
yes,
I couldn't find the video, but I did find a video from a Tuesday night. I still remember it was a Tuesday night. I drove all the way to Oklahoma City and raced you on the access road of I-35 at 82nd. And I've got that video that we're going to show you now.
That's the only video you could find?
Yep, that's it. Sorry. Oh, man. That was.
Hey, from that angle, it looked like I was in front.
No, well, I can tell you weren't. You weren't in front. Dude, that spot is so gangster because it's right off the highway, right off I-35. I mean, for anybody that doesn't know I-35, it's like that highway goes from South Texas all the way to Minnesota, I think. So it's a giant interstate highway, and you can literally drive down the highway and see the access road where we race. And, it's just gangster as hell because, there's state troopers passing by. I think there's a state trooper station like a mile or two away from there, right? Isn't there somewhere close?
There was there's an Oklahoma City police station down there, Santa Fe division, literally 2.5 miles from that spot.
My gosh. Yeah. So anyways, I drove up there on a Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was the start of like the list racing stuff. And I think I was racing you guys to try to be on your list or whatever I was doing way back when. And I remember I had to race Dominator too. And Dominator absolutely put it on me on that road. I still remember he made a really fast pass. And I'll be honest, I was more worried about losing to your car than I was Dominator. And it was a pretty much swapped on how the outcome came. So that was pretty cool, man. Just some gangster shit going down back in the day.
Me and Dominator did that on purpose. We took the deflection, your thinking and thought process, and put it on my car so Dominator could get the win.
Yeah, exactly. So went 1 for 1 that night. But you know what? We had a good time, and it was just cool to do that stuff. I'm pretty sure, Chief and everybody was there. And it was the same people that are racing now.
Yeah, I think things that people don't understand, this show's evolved and it's become its own thing in the last 9 years. But literally several years before the show, we had our own deal going on, and it was pretty freaking special. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll admit to everybody that that fucking yellow Mustang was my nemesis. I could not get around that small tire yellow Mustang. I could beat Chief when he had his car out. I could beat Dave. I won a cash days. I could beat and have beat just about everybody, but I could not get around that yellow Mustang until that one time.
That's right. That's right, man. You know, I don't know. It's kind of crazy because back then there was no turbo cars really racing in Oklahoma, right? Everybody was nitrous. And I think Sean had a like a big blower, like a root style blower or something, or maybe a Pro Charge. I don't remember what he had. Might have been a Pro Charge.
Yeah. When we first started, he had I believe it was an 871 roots blower on top. Could be wrong. Could be a 1071. I don't remember. And then shortly after that, he went to the blow through Pro Charger setup, belt driven, and him and me had some epic battles. Me, him, and Dave really had some epic battles. And you can throw some of the OGs back in there. Monza back in the actual real OG Monza. Damn it, Derek. I mean, Big D in that silver car. I had some epic battles with all of them. Good times. But literally, when we did the King of the Concrete, the backwards track races at Thunder Valley, it was me and Sean in the finals for the first two of them. I missed the third one for some reason. I can't remember. And then the fourth one, it was me. After the second round, it was me against all the pro mods that the track let in. And I ended up winning that damn thing. So really me and the Street Beast at the very beginning of No Prep, before No Prep was really a thing, I went to what was I? I guess I was 1-3 in the finals against Sean out of the 4 races we had. And then the first No Prep race we actually had in Denton, it was a 4-way tie with me, Sean, Chief, and Dave. So, there's God dang, there's so much history. So much history.
For sure, man. And that's the thing. Like, some people that have started watching the show think that, that we were just some random people that Discovery found at a racetrack and said, hey, come race on the show. Like, it wasn't like that, man. I mean, we were all doing this stuff at, on these streets right down the road from my house. We were there every Friday and Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah. Kicking each other's teeth in for fun of it. Not money, just for bragging rights. I mean, Oklahoma hated Texas. Texas hated Oklahoma. To the extent of just the racing. I mean, we were all friends, but you guys wanted to just, I mean, I would give my left nut to beat the Texas guys. You guys would give your left nut to beat the Oklahoma guys. It was such an amazing rivalry between friends. And I'll say it. I mean, I'm still to this day friends with a lot of the DFW guys.
Yep, exactly, man. I mean, it made, lifelong friends. And, I mean, we fight and bicker on the show, but at the end of the day, if we're all somewhere, 1,000 miles away, I feel like, I'd give any part off that car behind me to anyone that needed it. So you're right, man.
Yeah.
We'll be.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And likewise, it's the same way here. I mean, if you guys are broke down in Oklahoma, you always have a place to stay and a place to call. I'll do whatever it takes to help you guys get back home. Even if I got to get in my own truck and drive you back home myself, that's just what we do. And I could be racing you next week, but I would still do that. I mean, we were still competitive friends that I would take you home, help you fix your car so you could race me the next day. That's just what we did. I remember getting pimp juice from you. I remember working on my car or helping you work on your car in your garage, and spilling pimp juice all over the floor. We have so many memories that the TV show it can't even scratch the surface of how long we've been doing this and how long this rivalry has been going on.
Yeah, exactly. Doc, I'm going to tell you right now that the people in the comment section are effing pissed about your clock. They are borderline rioting in the comment section right now because of your clock. They're not happy. They're pissed. So they want you to fix it.
My internet connection is real choppy. Hang on a second. Hang on. Watch this.
Bam! Look at that.
Fixed it.
Fixed. Great job, Doc. Great job. Doc is a problem solver.
Unfortunately, my internet connection. Yeah, my internet connection is real choppy, so I'm not seeing the comments. It's still frozen on the first 15 comments as when we first started, so I'm not seeing any comments. Your feedback's real choppy, so I'm just fucking winging it, man. I'm just winging it. So you read the questions and I'll answer. How's that?
Well, a lot of questions are there's not very many questions over there. A lot of comments, but they're all positive, Doc. They are all 100% positive comments about you and I. So I would not worry about.
I don't know if I believe that.
Else. But... all right, Doc.
I'll go. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Mega Cash Days real quick.
Do we have to?
What do you think about it? What do you think about Mega Cash Days?
Well, to be honest with you, it freaking sucked. It sucked in the aspect of our performance. It sucked in the aspect of our performance. I think you, as a race master, did a hell of a job. I feel like you, as a race master, made some very, very, very tough and unpopular decisions that were 100% correct. I don't feel like you favored anybody, as some of the people have came out and said. You called it like you seen it, like you always have, like we always have. I don't feel like Chief has really ever went out of his way when he's race master to screw anybody out of anything. I think he's been as fair as he can be, and I feel like you did exactly the same at Mega Cash Days every time on every call to everybody, no matter who was involved.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Look, last night's episode was, I believe, night number 10 of Mega Cash Day. So it's getting down to, there's very few cars left now after last night. Just a real quick recap for those that maybe possibly didn't have time to watch or whatever. But the races we had was Dave and Jerry Bird. And the kind of common theme of last night's show, we moved the road up every bracket, right? And this was no different. So the road got moved up to a different section, and a lot of guys really struggled on this part of the road. I mean, when I was watching the show, I was trying to remember the night, but it kind of came back to me as I was watching the races. The road was very tricky. And like with Dave and Jerry Bird, those are two guys that usually make the trip without having to get crazy or really drive the car. And they both, knocked the tires off. But Jerry Bird was able to regain control faster and was able to beat Dave in that race. And then the same thing with Chuck 55 and Axeman. Chuck 55 knocked the tire off, but Axeman actually made he made a pretty decent pass. And then Lizzie and Ryan Martin. Lizzie took a chance on the tree, but went red, and she kind of crossed in front of Ryan. Thankfully, Ryan was actually a little bit behind her and didn't make contact. So, those first three races right there had people that were spinning. And then the crazy man, wild man, hella quick, Frank Azevedo, who was laying down some fast passes in his first bracket, he actually spun, annihilated the tires and went off into the grass. But his, I wouldn't even call it a wreck. He just kind of spun around. Luckily, the slick didn't grab, and he was able just to kind of slide to a stop. But still, Ken Clark got the win there. And then Fabian and Bobby Ducote were aced. And, they both kind of smoked the tires a little bit, but Bobby was able to beat them and Fabian looked like he just didn't have enough in the car on the top end. So, and then after that was Murder Nova and Jake Blaine. And man, I'm telling you, Jake Blaine made a blazing fast pass. Like there was nothing Sean could do. I don't think. I mean, Jake Blaine swung for it, and I'm gonna tell you, he made a pass that was hard to beat. And then last was Trisha and Johnny Quick, and Trisha was able to make a good A to B pass and won. And then of course Anthony got the bye. So the common theme here was lots of people knocking the tires off. And Doc, I know you made passes on that road. Did you find it as tricky as some of these people, were pretty much displaying last night? I mean, did you see that it was that difficult to get down?
Let's talk about that road for a little bit. I've never been on a road that changed conditions 3 or 4 times in the same night. Obviously, we've been on roads that are crappy to start off with, and then after a predetermined number of passes, the road gets good, and then it just gets better and better and better and better and better until the last pass of the night. This road was not the case. This road came around somewhere around race 4. So if you were 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, you had a pretty decent road to race on. And then the road went away just as fast as it came. So the later in the night, the road started going away. It started going the other direction. I guess it was because of the dew rolling in. The locals say it after a certain time in the night that the dew starts rolling in, or the moisture, water in the air content goes up at a certain time. Maybe it was that. I know when we were filming our show at the end of the season, it started getting really cold the later the night went on. So there was that too. But even the mega cash days, I don't think the road was as good as people thought it was going to be if you were the later rounds of the night. Now, with that being said, last night's episode, thank God a couple of people made some really good hits in that left lane, or you would have been really, really lambasted because it would have turned into basically a coin flip night. So I don't think the road – I can't blame it all on the road last night. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing for the people that don't know. I mean, the road's pretty grooved, and it's – my God, this road is probably what, Doc, like 3 miles long, 2 miles long and straight. I mean, there's plenty of room to move.
Every bit. Every bit of 2.5, 3 miles long straight.
Yep. So anyways, that was the mega cash days from last night. Doc, what do you think about the double elimination stuff?
It was really weird. I've been a part of a lot of cash days. I think my very first cash days that I actually attended and watched was cash days 8. And then the first one I raced in was cash days 9 that I won. And I don't know what number we're on now. We're on cash days 99 or whatever. So it's been a while since I've won one, but I've been a part of just about every cash days that's ever happened since 8. And the double elimination thing was really, it was cool, but it was also kind of a hard pill to swallow because it actually broke tradition, so to speak, a little bit. But yes, the double elimination is cool. Anytime that you can have 2 chances to win $100,000, it's definitely better. It's 50% better than I'm going to give it 100% better than only 1 chance to win $100,000.
You heard it here first. Doc with the analytical math on the podcast just now. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right, Doc. You do have a 100% better chance if you lose one and you're still in. Real quick to shift gears because lots of people are asking, Doc. Lots of people are asking over here. You told me to bring up a question when they asked, so I'm going to bring it up. They want to know what is in store for Doc Love. So the Street Beast is gone. Well, what is next?
Yes.
Well,
I have a replacement car, and I'm not sure what I'm going to call it. I may end up calling the car the replacement. Who knows? I've got a couple of names picked out. Replacement is obviously one of them. It's bought. It's been wrapped. I couldn't afford or have time for a body work and paint job, so it's wrapped. It is a color blue that resembles the Street Beast and my brand. It's 100% not the Street Beast. Totally off the wall. Some people aren't going to see it coming. It's still, when I walk up to that car, I'm still having a hard time believing that it's mine and that I'm fixing to race it and campaign it on the streets and no prep kings. I just have to keep telling myself it's temporary. But yes, it is at the it is at the chassis shop now. We are converting it from, we're turning it into a car that will be competitive on the streets.
All right. So you keep saying you can't believe you own it. I feel like it's a Mustang.
Feel like it's what?
It's a Mustang. It's got to be a Mustang, right? It's a Ford product.
Well, as most people follow me or know me, they know that I have a absolute disdain for a Fox body Mustang. I just do not like them, and they're everywhere in the racing scene. So it just makes it worse. So quite possibly could be a Fox body Mustang.
Could be. All right. So it might be a Fox body Mustang, but then again, it might not be a Fox body Mustang, Doc. So do you have any pictures of the car?
Well, I'm sure. I think I've got a couple of pictures. Let's. I sent them to your guy. Let's see if your guy can put them up. Yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
That looks like that's a Fox body Mustang.
Oh man, that is definitely the ground effect, a GT ground effect. That's got to be it.
Yeah. You know, what's the next step up from there we go.
Okay, that is not a GT quarter panel though. Okay, it's not a Mustang. It is not a Fox body Mustang. Doc, that's not blue. What color was that?
No, that was gumball. Well, it is blue now. The first picture was the wrap, the girl that the FTC garage that wrapped the car. She sent me that teaser pic, and it was just just a teaser pic is all it was right there. So there you go. See, it's blue.
So Doc, are you going to race this new car in No Prep Kings, or is it just street only?
It's the only car I have, so I'll race it on everything that I race. No prep, track, street, it doesn't matter. It's basically Street Beast's replacement. Redheaded stepchild brother, redheaded stepkid. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's all I have. So if I'm racing or whatever I'm racing, that's what it's going to be in. Unless I can find a car that somebody's willing for me to pilot for No Prep Kings, a more suitable car or whatever, then I would be glad to entertain all offers. So basically, you heard it here first, folks. Doc is a No Prep King driver for hire. You have car, I have a race and a driver's suit and a helmet.
All right, Doc. So there you go. Doc throwing out the advertisement, driver for hire, no prep, anything on the track, street, whatever. You provide the car. Doc provides the driving suit and driving gloves and helmet, and we'll pilot it. That is nice. So Doc, since we're talking about No Prep Kings, real quick, for those in the comment section, I have a job for y'all. Y'all need to go home. Well, you're probably already home because you're watching the show. But once you get off the podcast, I want you to sit there with a piece of paper, and I want you to figure out what Doc should name his new car. Now, you don't know what kind of car it is. So that even adds more to the how obscure the name should be, because you don't even know what kind of car it is. So that's your homework. I expect you guys to submit your names for Doc's car by noon tomorrow. That is the drop dead date. Noon tomorrow. So that, and we've already got some names flowing in.
I do come with a little. I do come with an actual guaranteed spot on the big show of No Prep Kings. So there is that little deal. So that does sweeten the pot. I mean, whoever's car it is guaranteed to make the show.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Now there are rules that the car has to meet. And for those that are wondering, there is a website that I bet will have the No Prep Kings rules posted. And that website is noprep.com. Doc, if you haven't noticed, I guarantee you, once the rules are released, they're going to put them on here as well. Noprep.com, where you can find also no prep schedule for any races, anything like that. For no prep, you go to noprep.com. They got hoodies. Doc, you look great in a noprepracing.com hoodie or t-shirt. So for everybody over on the side in the comment section, please check out noprep.com. Again, once No Prep King rules are posted and all that fun stuff, I bet there'll probably be a copy on the website along with the schedule and all that fun stuff. So again, noprep.com. Check it out. Doc, I bet your driver profile's on there as well. So whenever you get off this podcast, you need to go check it out and cruise around there and see what you think. All right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
for
your
sure.
homework. That is your homework, Doc. That is your homework.
Sure.
So,
hey, let's talk about something. I got the comment section coming up, and I seen a couple of comments that kind of irritate me a little bit. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute, if you don't mind.
All right. Which comment irritated you, buddy? I want to hear it.
The sister kissing thing.
Okay, let's
just get that out. Let's just get that out in the air. So first of all, I want to say that me and my brother, my mom and my dad lost my sister a few years back to a heart attack. So she's no longer with us. So to see people still bringing that up, it stings a little bit. But I give everybody the benefit of the doubt because those words did come out of my mouth. So if you will rewind several years back to where we're filming, I'm in the dirtiest part of my shop. I'm probably straddling a 55-gallon drum cut down with about 11 gallons of used diesel engine oil in it, because that's where they like to do these interviews at, in the dirtiest part of my shop. And Jen asked a question about a tie. And in my brain, I can't remember the exact two things, but I had two different sayings go through my head at once. And I don't have a script. I don't have anything predetermined wrote out. I don't have anything predetermined thought out. When I do these, I do it off the cuff. So when my mouth opened up and delivered the words, my brain or my mouth jarbled up the two sayings that I wanted to say, and what came out was a blending of both of them, which was the kissing your sister thing. As soon as it left my mouth, Jen could tell by the look on my face that that wasn't right. She said, "Do you want to do it again?" And I looked at her dead in the eye and I said, "Why? You know you're going to use that anyways." She said, yeah. Fair enough. And we moved on. So that's where the sister kissing comment came from. It was a little bit of a mouth brain confusion on my part. Something along the lines of riding a moped's fun to do because you don't want your friends to see you on it. And then it was something else about stepsister, and it came out wrong. People have still kind of bang on me for it. For the longest time, it's okay. I said it, I own it. But my sister's, untimely passing a few years ago just kind of make it hurt, make it sting a little bit more than it should.
Yeah, I got you, man. I hate to hear about that, and you're right. Unfortunately, stuff like that is said can never be taken back. And people that don't know your story and, your sister's story are still going to poke at it. You know what I mean? And no matter how many times you tell them, no matter how many times you post it, it doesn't matter. There's going to be people that are still going to poke at it, Doc. But,
and you still have the assholes out there in the interwebs that when they find out something rubs you the wrong way, they just keep at it no matter what. So.
Man,
Another
I
one I
can
like
tell
to
you.
talk about, another famous one.
Yeah, let's hear it. What you got?
The comment in Vegas about me going to go back and fuck the guy's wife.
God.
Let's talk about that
Okay.
for a minute. That
Okay,
was
let's talk
that
about
was an internet classic. I mean, I'm still, I'm okay with that. That episode was filmed out in the middle of the desert, and that group of people that we were racing, when it came to my race, the drivers' meeting sucked. Every coin toss had sucked. So I walked up and I told my guy that I was supposed to race. I said, "Hey, do you want to make some good TV?" He said, "What do you mean?" "Yeah, I do." And I said, "Tonight sucked. So we need to amp it up. We need to banner. We need to have an argument. We need to have a fight. We need to have something." He goes, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I don't know. I don't plan these things. I just throw it off the cuff." So I said, "Follow my lead. When the cameras come and we do the coin toss, follow my lead." He agreed. We shook hands. We were going to walk away still smiling and friendly with each other afterwards, no matter what was said. When the cameras showed up, he didn't follow my lead. He busted right off. Kind of caught me off guard. So I was like, okay. So I was just following his lead, which I wasn't prepared to do. And, it kind of turned into, after I get done fucking that whatever kind of car he had, I was going to go home and fuck his wife. And obviously I probably shouldn't have said that, but God damn, it was TV gold.
Yeah, Doc, that definitely fell under the category of you said it and you can't take it back. But
yeah, I
you know
don't want
what?
to. It was TV gold. I mean, hey, boosted the look on Jen's face. She was standing behind the guy. The look on Jen's face when those words came out of my mouth, I knew it was TV gold right there. Sold, done, whatever. It got me a lot of haters. A lot of women hated me for that comment, but I
Sure.
am going to apologize for it. Obviously, I'm never going to go back and fuck somebody's wife, but at the time, in the context, in the middle of the desert, in the heat of the moment, the racer, we say whatever we need to say or want to say or think we can say to get in that guy's head. So stupid shit gets said all the time. That one just happened to be on TV. It didn't cause a fight. We high-fived and hugged it out when it was all over with. And I was not wrong. We made TV, and it made the episode. It made that episode from boring to water cooler talk the next day. Everybody in the world was talking about, did you hear Doc say he was going to fuck that guy's wife? So there you go.
Okay, Doc, real quick. So not all of the drama that takes place on the show goes down like how Doc is saying, where people talk beforehand. That just happened to be with Doc's case. He kind of talked to the guy he wanted to get riled up or whatever, and next thing you know, he says something that was taken pretty negatively, but that's okay. I'm just saying that most of the drama is not staged or talked about before that.
No,
on the show.
no. I'm not saying that not every situation. Obviously, very, very few, a small handful of situations are kind of talked about beforehand. For the most part, what you see on TV is organic. Even that conversation between me and that guy, it was organic as hell. I didn't go into that saying thinking that I was going to say I'm going to go bang his wife. It was a spur of the moment thing. It just happened. It worked out. It was TV gold. Some people still like me for it. Some people still hate me for it. Whatever. They're still talking about it to this day. They're still talking about that one time that Doc said he was going to go do that to his old lady. Whether you like it or not, it was TV gold. It was TV gold, and I'm proud of that moment. I seized the moment, and me and that guy took that episode for ourselves.
Okay. This kind of is leading into a new piece from that I said I was going to do tonight, and it's what I like to call "It Goes Down in the DMs," and that has to do with the private messages that I receive any given day, and I've got one here that I will read. It comes from Remy Schooler. I don't know. Anyways, he proceeded to tell me that goes like this. Dear Boosted, you are terrible at flagging. Thank you. I'm not sure why you're doing it. You don't even have a car. Hang on, still reading. And I hope that you are no longer able to do any flagging from this point forward. By the way, I hope that they do a new show without you. So anyways, Remy, thank you, sir. I would like to address your comment here. First of all, being I do have a car. It's right back there. I actually have 2 cars and a truck. So there's that. And as far as flagging goes, you know, I cover this every meeting, or should I say every podcast. And, you know, there's probably things I can do better with my flagging. And, but you know what? It's my style and I enjoy it. I enjoy the way I do it. And, you know, some racers may have red lit against me, and that's racing. I can tell you it was fair for everybody that was racing. And that's really all I'm concerned about, is trying to give a fair race. As far as me,
let me expand on that, Boosted.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've raced off a lot of flaggers. I've raced off a lot of different flaggers, and I've raced off of some out-of-town groups that have came in and raced us and insisted that we use their flagger that they brought. And I can tell you what, I have seen a lot of mistakes made. Chief's made mistakes. You've made a couple of mistakes. It's hard. It is really hard to be that flagger. The responsibility is all on you. The race can't happen unless you start it, unless the flagger does his job. That's a lot of pressure. And you add the fact of the TV show, the cameras, 64 drivers, and what, $600,000 or whatever the amount of money, $400,000 that you were giving away. That's a mountain of pressure on one guy. And let me tell you, I was at every race, every pass that was flagged in that 64 car race from start to finish. I was on the starting line somewhere watching you do it. And I can really only think of, honestly, one for sure, maybe 2 mistakes that you made the entire time. And hats off to you, buddy. Killer job. I'll race behind your flag any fucking day of the week. So there you have it.
Thank you, Doc.
Boosted is tremendously.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. You know, and I wasn't trying to, you know, get reassurance or anything like that. I just, you know, I had mentioned that I get all kinds of DMs every day from a multitude of people telling me all kinds of stuff that I do wrong or right. You know, there's some that tell me I do right stuff too. But and I'm sure, Doc,
Sure.
I'm sure you get the same stuff as I do in your DMs. We all do, right? I mean, I see it on the internet all the time. It's like groups that I swear are on Facebook just to beat the show down to pieces on every person that's on it. And that's fine. It just goes to tell you that at least they are watching the show.
Yeah. The thing, you did a killer job. You did a killer job, especially under all the pressure. You know, people forget that the flagger has the last say. We've said it at pretty much every driver's meeting. If you can't go to the tape and figure it out, if you can't figure it out for some reason, or if the 2 drivers can't figure it out, the flagger has the last say. So the flagger is judge, jury, and executioner of every race that happens that night or event or whatever. So hats off to anybody that takes that role and embraces it and actually does a good job, because it's not easy. I don't know if I would ever want to be in that position. Would I like to flag a racer too? Absolutely. Would I like to hold a 64 car event for $500,000? Man, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want that smoke. So
That's right.
There's that.
That's right, man. It's until you get up there and do it and have these cars blazing past you like 6 inches on each side of you. You know, it's tough. A lot of people can sit there and tell you how to do it, but it's tough. I can tell you, I didn't
even talk about the brass.
Yeah.
The
Go
brass
ahead.
balls
talk
that you
about
got
what?
to have to stand behind 6,000 horsepower of cars coming at you within inches. If somebody, um, if somebody makes a mistake, you're in the danger zone. You have it. You put your life at risk at every time those guys left. Any one of those cars at any time could veer right or left and take you the fuck out every time you turn that light on. And people just don't understand that. You don't understand that, or you get numb of that after a couple of races because it's just kind of status quo. But there's you guys that flag and start these races have as much at stake as the guy behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, that's right, man. I think I'm going to address myself in like, Doc, you ever seen the movie Little Giants with the guy that's in the foam and he can't keep his arms down?
Yeah.
Like he's all foamed up. That's going to be
Yep.
me out there
Stay,
just in full foam, in case someone hits
stay
me.
puff marshmallow man.
That's me. That's me. So for those that are asking in the
Yeah.
comment section, the Lightning behind me is a 95 Lightning, and it's got a Gen 2 Coyote motor in it. I'm not done with it yet. I'm still trying to finish it. I don't have time to work on anything because I work on this thing and I work on the yellow thing. So I've got all kinds of projects around here that I'll probably never finish, but that's okay because, according to most of the internet, I don't race anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But at one point in time, I will have this done and running. So there's the answer to that question over there. Doc, anything else you want to talk about before we end this wonderful podcast?
I think we've done a really good podcast. I would like to probably say, I'm just a normal guy, just like you. I run a diesel mechanic shop. I used to have a little bit of disposable money before the show came around to do whatever I wanted to the car when the car needed it. The last couple of years, man, with COVID and the No Prep Kings in 2019, we basically didn't film any of the actual street show. So all I did was run around the country chasing No Prep Kings. The income has definitely not matched the outgoing. So I'm not near as rich or wealthy as Chief made, or the show, whoever made it led to believe. I'm not the rich guy that if I just can't figure it out, I throw money at it. No, that's not it. Real world talk. I've had to sell some things to get the replacement. It cost me my spare engine, so I don't have a spare 728 street motor anymore. So now if I hurt something in that, I'm down until I can fix it. I had to sell my stacker trailer. So if and when No Prep Kings starts happening again, I'm going to be in my little old 36-foot, street trailer, because that's all I have. I finally sold my Trans Am. I'm able to keep my SS, my daily driver project. But, if money gets tight again in the next couple of months or so, then the daily driver's got to go, because the most important thing is that I get a car back so I can go back to doing what I love, which is racing you knuckleheads on the street, literally for pennies.
Doc, I have a good idea that could be a moneymaker for you. And, I pitched it to Chief.
I'm all ears.
What's that? Oh, you're all ears. Okay. I pitched it to Chief.
I'm all ears.
Whenever I had him on my podcast. But, all right, now stay with me here. We're going to do, well, not we, you are going to do a Doc Love OnlyFans. And you're going to call it Dr. Love Hour. And you're just going to, put all kinds of stuff on there, do a banana split, whatever you got to do to make the Benjamins to get that car back. Now, I will not be subscribing to it,
Hey.
but it only takes a couple subscribers to start making some money, Doc. So I've got you a long-term future
As long.
in mind. Yeah.
Okay. Time out. As long as you're not going to judge me for being ambidextrous, I'll consider it.
Well, Doc, I won't be watching, so there will be no judgment from me. But I'll have to rely on other subscribers to let me know about it for me to judge. But
I'm too fat and old to do any of that. It just doesn't even. It doesn't even. Not even in here. Not even in here anymore. I'm all about is getting the car ready to go street racing again.
All right. Well, that was my grand idea. I'm all out of ideas, Doc. Anything else? What is your website? What is your Facebook page? One last time for everybody. How do they get a hold of you? Spill it real quick, and then we're done.
All right. Again, my Street Beast page is Street Beast Doc. My has a shop now tab at the top if you guys want to log on and get some of these killer shirts or the cars or whatever hats. The actual website is www.streetbeast.com. All one word. You guys log in. Everything you buy gets the replacement up and running, so I can bust Boosted's ass and Chief's ass and everybody's ass again. So let's go. Let's get the replacement up and going.
All right, Doc. I appreciate it, sir. Get that hand on ice so that you don't have to use the left as much. But I appreciate you having us, man. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining.
All right.
Have a good night. See y'all later.
Take care.
Yep. Bye.